Unlike other religious groups, Hinduism does not have single systematic teachings of its value system. Instead, it has various local, regional, and caste driven practices that influence its beliefs. This is a common thread among different variations of Hindu beliefs most of the time. They often believe in a supreme being and follow various concepts such as kama, artha, dharma, and moksha. It started around 4,000 years ago in India. The Aryans, the noble people, recorded their religion and philosophy in their sacred texts, first handed down from generation to generation. Today, almost 1 billion people worldwide profess some aspect of Hinduism. The foundation of its various sects is contained in the Vedas, which are concluding portions of the Hindu scriptures. Throughout this essay, specific content will be related to a field-based interview provided by Hitesh to bring community awareness to his faith, gods, evolution of Hinduism, his Brahmin caste practices, salvation, code of conduct, symbolism, traditions, and gender perspectives through his practice of Hinduism. The Bhagavad-Gita is one of the most important religious texts in India. It has been quoted by various individuals, including poets, philosophers, and scientists. The Gita was also part of the epic Mahabharata, and scholars believe it was included in the text during the 5th through 3rd centuries BCE. The Gita talks about a dialogue between a warrior prince named Arjuna and a god known as Krishna. The dialogue is recited by a counselor named Sanja to his blind king to enable him to see and report the battle that's happening to him. During the battle, the Pandavas and the Kauravas are related, and many people fight for supremacy to rule. When Ranja sees his former friends and comrades fighting on both sides, he refuses to participate in the battle. As a whole, the takeaway of the book of Gita talks about the concepts of illusions in the central text of Hindu mythology. It instructs individuals to elevate their consciousness, to look beyond appearances, and recognize the various facets of existence as mere illusions. The Gita combines the concepts of the Upanishads and the Vedas into a coherent vision of God and the unity of all existence. The text talks about the importance of looking beyond the appearance of others and recognizing the true nature of God. The Gita helped inspire and develop various religious groups, such as Buddhism and Jainism.
Okay. Do you have any type of scripture or literature that you read and follow?
Yes. So I do not read. I should be reading. I'm ashamed of myself not doing it. My parents, both of my mother and father, did it. We were reading together, so I can speak Sanskrit because I recited all over and over every day. But lately, with medical school and stuff, I have not been reading. But the book I should be reading is Gita. It's called Bhagavad-Gita, which is like a Quran for Muslims and Bible for the Christians.
Mhm.
That's our book. Besides two other books that people not read, but they try to. They have translated the whole book into the television, like episodes,
Okay.
movies and stuff. So they rather watch that and understand the relations between gods and what happened, how it happened, like that.
Do you have like a favorite passage or story from Gita?
Yes. So Gita it's a narration from the God who is trying to give a direction to one of his follower. One of the followers feeling shy of doing fight against evil. The evil people are his cousins and their army. He's feeling like why should I kill my brothers? They are my brothers, and the army are of innocent people. But then he tried to tell him that a dharma no vijay against other means whenever you feel evil and they are growing, you have to destroy them. If you cannot destroy, they will take over the religion, and then everything is gonna go downhill. So sometime you have to kill, and killing is okay as long as you justify it in a religious term. Uh, that's I'm not trying to say that killing is good, but at that time when the war was necessity, uh, they did a war. So that's the part. He said many things uh, about the life and struggle and how you should take upon. But one thing that he told Arjun, which was the follower, that dharma means if someone is evil by nature, by all testament, yes, it's okay to kill or fight against.
Okay. Let's see.
In Hinduism, there is a concept of monotheistic gods with elements of polytheistic gods. There are 4 Vedas that are regarded as divine in origin and are the direct transmission of God's word. In Buddhism, God is referred to as Atman, while in Hinduism it is called Brahman. This concept is the same eternal and infinite being present in all creation. It is like a person being called a different name by different people. For instance, the same divine Lord can be addressed as various names, such as God, Mother, and Kali. There's also a realm where God is an incarnation of himself, such as Krishna and Rama. In Hindu religion, it is common for devotees to select which gods they choose to pray to each day, depending on the guidance of their needs. While discussing with Hitesh, he is often praying to 2 gods in particular lately, Mother Lakshmi and Uma Mata. Umya is an incarnation of the goddess Shakti and the patron deity of Kadva Bhartidar community in Gujarat. She is regarded as the mother of the universe and as the provider of peace and prosperity, whereas the goddess of wealth, power, and luxury, Lakshmi, is regarded as a maternal and restless woman. She is said to have the promise of material fulfillment and contentment. Since there is no single creator of Hinduism, it is difficult to understand its traditions. During this period, other religions started developing and challenging the way of life that Hinduism had been doing. The term dharma in Hinduism is different from religion as it refers to a set of rules that are valid since eternity. Though Trolik did try to apply his theory to Hinduism and defines the church as an institution that was established with deep ties to the elite. On the other hand, a sect is a movement that it was established to provide a better alternative to the religious mainstream. This concept could also appeal to scholars of devotional Hinduism who are captivated by the movement known as Bhakti. It is believed that saints from all social backgrounds were worshipped for their charismatic authority. Most scholars on Hinduism use the term sectarianism to refer to a more restricted form of the religion. The core principles of Hinduism are all the same for all of its sects. Those prefer a particular aspect of the divinity will also form a sect devoted to that aspect. The distinction between the core divisions of Hinduism and the various sects is a problematic one, and it assumes that a unified Hindu church has always existed. The rise of the Brahmins can be traced back to the time when Indo-European settlers in northern India were divided into various groups. Hindu priests are known to perform multiple services, such as puja. The act of puja, or praying to a god or spirit, is a major aspect of Hindu worship. During this period, the devotee can show their reverence for the divine by performing various rituals and invocations. Brahmins were instrumental in motivating the Hindu community to devotion to Hindu deities, while during Hindu festivals, they may also be asked to perform pujas. Before pujas are performed, priests were trained to chant the hymns. To be a qualified priest, one must have the necessary knowledge and skills to perform the rituals and ceremonies associated with the religion. Hence, each day, Hindu priests perform several prayers. They are also bathing the deity and preparing food for devotees. After the rituals are done, the priest distributes the food to the devotees. As the devotees await for the prasad, the priests and the devotees sing praise to the deity. The priests then hold lit camphor to receive the blessings.
How religion rolls. That's how we stay together and do what we are supposed to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
What role does a priest or clergy have in your religion?
Okay, so that one, my grandfather was a priest full time. My father was part time priest. They are the people who are supposed to uh, tell people who don't have time for religion. They don't have time to read the book. They will tell them, just like here, the pastor. You go to service on Sunday, church service, and they tell you different uh, chapters of the book that this is what God is trying to say. Similarly, people don't go on Sunday or Saturday particularly. I go on Saturday here, but uh, usually when we have religious celebration, one of the Diwali, Holi, and other, uh, they will tell, they will give out the speech. They will tell us about details that hey, this is what they're supposed to do. This is what we need to do. This is what God did, why He did, and there are so many incidents in their life, and they will explain it to them and give a specific example that day. So, plus, let's say I'm getting married or engaged, they will be the people there recite some Sanskrit sloks and yeah, explain them why this is important, what is that, what is the meaning of this uh, recital, and then we will realize that yeah, this is the responsibility I'm assuming by marrying to this woman. So that's how they are very close to our family. Like they play a significant role.
Okay. If you were to follow in your grandfather's steps and become a priest, what would that entail, or when would that start?
So by being born in the Brahmin family, I automatically gets the right if I want to. I need to go to religious school back in India and do some learning. It's like a school.
Mhm.
Need to know that language of Sanskrit and to recite a lot many slokas, which I can depends on what situation person needs, and then I can become a priest. So if I become a priest, it will be like about a good 6 months of practice, and then I can execute that role.
Okay. And then you said, if I understand this correctly, you can only be a priest if you're within that caste, correct?
Yes, yes.
Okay, gotcha. Um, let's see. Last question. Have you ever
The concept of salvation is often present in almost all religions. Although some have a common goal, the various interpretations of what salvation means vary. The path to salvation in Hinduism is through religious duty or karma. The other two ways of salvation are the way of knowledge and devotion to a deity. This devotion can be carried out in all human relationships, as well as in the relationships with the deity. The Gita is the work that has special attention to the aspect of salvation. Although there is no definite founder or date of its origin, Hinduism is regarded as the oldest religion on earth. It is referred to as Sanatana Dharma, a religion that comes down to people through eternity. In Hinduism, salvation is the Atman's soul, liberation for samsara, in attaining the highest spiritual state. This is referred to as moksha or mukti.
So I'm going to skip that one. Let's see. Does your religion follow a certain path to salvation?
Um, yes. So we call it moksha. One of the word is moksha, means salvation. Uh, you have to live life according to Lord Ram lived, like being the best son or daughter, best husband you can, or best brother you can, best nephew you can. Respect your elderly, respect their values, respect your family, uh, and live a good life. uh, what what it wants you to do is assume the role as our religion expect. Let's say I'm a child, so I will be spoiled by my father, but I will listen to my grandfather and respect them separately.
Mhm.
Once I grow up and I have my kids, I need to pass message to my kids while I respect my own father and mother and live with them, take care of them till they die. Then I become grandfather. My son or daughter will teach their kids about religion, and he will take care of me because I'm ill or I'm old and we live in same house. So that way, three generation can make sure that they're lined up pretty well and they teach, and the circle goes on and on. So that's, if we do that way, if we fulfill our all the job requirement of religious aspect, then we get salvation.
Okay, so is that part of your code of conduct that you had mentioned?
Yes, yes, code of conduct. Yes,
Is there any other aspects to that code of conduct?
yes. So there in life there are challenges, right? There are always challenges. So when you feel lost, the only way or the best way you can get answers is from the book, which is the Gita, Bhagavad-Gita, just like Bible for Christians. There are all the answers in that book. So you should, if you feel lost, which we can, we make a poor decision, we make a poor choices, we are stuck somewhere, and we are in situation where we don't know which way to go. Yes, take a help of the book, and that will guide you the right way.
What roles does gender play in your religion?
Um,
In addition to salvation, Erik Erikson is a personality theorist who shifted from the emphasis of Freud's theory on psychosexual conflicts to a more focused view of psychosocial crises. His theory has remained popular, but as society has become older, the need for understanding the aged individuals has grown. Erikson's perspective on that the changes that occur in people during their adult years could become more relevant to his work in psychology. There is no death in Buddhism and Hindu traditions, but rather a belief in rebirth. The circumstances of one's life are also considered when determining their next life. One can undoubtedly overcome this cycle by attaining enlightenment. This is common in countries like China and India, where people regularly practice various spiritual practices to achieve nirvana. Many traditions consider death to be a significant transition in one's life. It is also an occasion to prepare for something beyond. The concept of salvation in Hinduism is summarized as moksha, which means that an individual can become fully realized once they have been freed from their endless cycle of death and rebirth. Therefore, the code of behavior is a set of duties that one must perform to maintain one's place in society. It is usually determined by the responsibilities associated with one's position. Therefore, there are 4 ideal stages of a person's life described in Hindu scriptures. For most Hindu people, these are just a metaphor for a path. The Dharma, or behavior consistent with one's caste and status, is also discussed in early philosophical texts. Everyone can perform, but not all religious practices. Spiritual life should not be limited to the pursuit of worldly pleasures. Hindus believe that observing one's action and behavior is the most important to attaining liberation and success. Moksha is the ultimate goal of Hindu life. The goal is to detach yourself from the things that tie you to the world, allowing you to realize the ultimate unity of things. There are various ways to achieve this goal. Many people believe that the art of symbolism is an integral part of Hinduism. Most of the popular Hindu symbols have spiritual meanings and are derived from Hindu teachings and traditions. Some of the popular Hindu symbols include the swastika, lotus, conch, and the trident, and they are similar to religious symbols used in Buddhism and Sikhism. The exact significance of the various Hindu symbols and icons varies depending on the traditions and regions of the followers. Some famous Hindu symbols, such as the swastika, have been associated with other religions. The swastika is regarded as the second most important Hindu symbol and is commonly found on various objects and the bodies of the followers. It is also used in multiple ways. More prominent Hindu symbols include the Om, the Trishula, and the Shriva Linga. The Trishula is a famous Hindu symbol, usually carried by Lord Shiva. The Trishula represents the three gunas of God, which are good, constructive, and chaos. These attributes have been present in all things and beings since ancient times. Although these three attributes are present in everyone, their varying proportions can define a person's character.
More,
Good.
yeah.
What are some of the symbols of your religion and what do they symbolize?
Yes, so I answered the question, and I want to tell you more about this. Om, which is one of the ancient language Sanskrit's word Om, which means prosperity to all. Uh, and then we put Shu means good, Lab means benefit on our door. So what it means that we want to work together to bring prosperity for all. That's what it means.
Okay.
So do not fight, do not pull someone's leg to make yourself look big. It's saying
Mhm.
that you should be proud of what you do and support others so you will grow together.
Wonderful. And then
Not only are symbols an integral part of the various customs and tradition of Hinduism that are significant to people of India, as they are considered to be the oldest religion on earth. Thousands of Hindus, traditions, and customs are commonly practiced in India. They vary depending on the traditions of a region and caste. One tradition or festival that Hitesh enjoys the most is in October and November. Hindus in different parts of the world light up with the lights of Diwali, which is a festival of the lights that spans back over 2,500 years. In the northern India, a story associated with Diwali revolves around King Rama, one of the god's incarnations. One night after an evil king captured Sita, he built an army of monkeys to rescue her. In other words, the monkeys built a bridge over India to Sri Lanka to free Sita. As they go back to the north, millions of lights are used across the city to welcome them. In the south, the festival is associated with the story of Krishna, who is a different version of Vishnu. This god frees thousands of women from evil kings. During this festival, people exchange gifts and coins with the goddess Lakshmi, which in the past, fireworks have been a part of the festivities during Diwali season instead of the large-scale display that are standard in the United States.
We spend time in temple. So the rituals, uh, all the prayers that we do in temple, that's how I brought up to my faith, like very much early life exposure to the faith.
okay. Um, what was that like for you growing up?
So our faith is based on the story of our Lord, which is Lord Krishna and Lord Ram, and their life, uh, life's ups and downs. They are integrated in our today's celebration. Let's one of the birthday of our God is the Diwali, which is festival of light, because he returned home uh, from his victory to his own kingdom. So that's how we celebrate Diwali. Holi is one of the evil was killed that day by one of the goddess. That's why we do festival of colors. So we were like celebrating all this religious um, celebration, and my parents would tell me why we celebrate that. Plus, some of the television had the show, like religious show, that showing each characters and their values and importance. So that's how I knew.
Okay. Was there a certain sect or domination that you followed?
So in Hinduism, there are many different dominations. I would not say domination, but it's a subcaste system,
Okay.
casting. So different people have different castes. Some stays higher, some stays lower, some in middle. It is blended nowadays. It's not much of a big deal, but when I was young, it was a deal. And we are Brahmin, which means we are on the top. Um, our family or the family members can be the only people can do the priest job. No other people can do priest job. So that's my caste, Brahmin, Hindu Brahmin.
Okay.
Thank you.
What do you think is the most fundamental aspect of your religion?
Um, the most fundamental aspect. So our religion believes in inclusiveness. Our all the different caste system has different caste of people and they belong to, but they are all welcome to do celebration together. They all have different roles to play, but the integration is very well organized. That the whole religion, they respect each other and they understand each other and try to support each other. So that's how historically it was um, grown upon.
Okay. What is something that you want others to know about your religion?
Okay, so our our religion is just not about Diwali and Holi. There are some other celebrations that we do. One of them is Navratri, which is Garba, which is a 9 day of celebration of dance, which every night we celebrate our success by dancing and around the god. It's a religious dance. I think I asked Don to join me one day when he helped me switch my rotation. I love that festival. Plus, we have other festival of Ganesh Chaturthi, um, some local, like depends on which area you grow up on. There are some goddess that people worship, and you do some rituals there. So, uh, I want people to know that our religion is very broad and very deep. Uh, if you, since you start taking interest, you will start enjoying and understanding why we have like thousands of god and goddess and how they are related to each other, and they each has a life message.
Wonderful. Let's see. I know we talked about, I asked you about your religious traditions and rituals. Is there one that you do on a daily, like a daily ritual or?
Additionally, other traditions or practices of Hindu faith is gender roles and sexual orientation. Although it is true that gender equality is a vital issue in Hinduism, the philosophical and spiritual views regarding it are different from those of most people. In theory, women and men are the same, but in reality, they are expected to perform different roles in order to preserve and continue the traditions of Dharma. Aside from being the primary household staff, the wife also has a wide range of roles in Hindu culture. Some wives even serve as assistants to their Brahmin priest husbands during religious ceremonies. Although Hinduism doesn't allow sex outside of marriage, Hinduism still encourages a life of celibacy. It also provides various techniques to avoid sex until marriage. Additionally, many Hindus consider homosexuality as taboo, as the scriptures do not specifically discuss the purpose of sex within the concept of marriage. Interestingly, though, there is also an overwhelming amount of gay iconography in Hindu art, such as carvings and paintings. Since the religion considers sexual activity as a form of fertility and pleasure, erotic carvings are highly regarded. Hitesh had noted in his interview that even though some people may not accept it, they still believe that they are human beings and should be loved, and that there is no hate against them.
Okay, so my next question for you is, how does your faith handle societal issues such as premarital sex, intermarriage, teen pregnancy, and divorce?
So growing up, when I was growing up, those are the things we don't even hear. Forget
Okay.
about happening. We don't even hear things like that. Our families are very strict about the way we were raised. Um, my relation, my very first relation was with my wife. Uh, when I went, and I was like 24, 25 when we met. So, and we are proud of that, that part. Nowadays, with the invention of this social media app and the influence of Westernized culture, India is, which is majority Hindu region, is changing very fast pace. The
Mhm.
things will not be same, but according to the religion, we do not believe in premarital, and we do not believe in teen pregnancy. We believe in one wife and your relation just after marriage, not before that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm. What is your view on same-sex marriages or homosexuals?
My personal or religion's view.
How about we start, how about just religion's view? Let's do that.
Okay, so religion is okay with anybody who is LGBTQ, because one of our God was, uh, he was a gay, not gay, but he wanted to hide out for a few years, and he was hiding as a gay. One of the other God was gay, uh, by birth. He was gay. So in our religion literature, it is mentioned that it's okay. So we don't hate people who are homosexuals or LGBTQ community. Uh, Now, individual people, even though they are Hindu and God or religion saying should not, they try to tease them, like harass them. That's the personal choice. But religion does not dictate to hit them, not at all. They welcome.
That's interesting. It's something I didn't know, I guess, about your some of the gods that you had just mentioned. So that's good to
Yeah,
know.
yeah. One of the god, his name, I forgot what was his name. Arjun was one of the god. He hid out for 5 years or 6 years as a gay person, and one of the god's brother was gay. I forgot his name, but yeah. So we have that documentation that yes, it's okay.
Oh, that's interesting. That's good to hear, though. Let's see. I think I asked this question, so I'm gonna skip that one. Let's see.
In conclusion, there are so many religions in the world, and each country has its own customs and rules. However, due to religion, people have peace and harmony. All religions teach us how to live our lives with no sin. Despite the diversity of cultures and religions in the world, there is still unity among people. Although Christians and Hindus may not look like they have much in common, they have some notable similarities. Both the Christians and Hindus teach morality. Both of these groups teach their followers the values of love, forgiveness, and self control. Krishna and Jesus were both born by their virgin mothers. Both of them underwent various spiritual practices to connect their own spirituality. Despite their tremendous power, both of them remained humble and unassuming. In addition, Christianity, people who are righteous will be in heaven, while those who are evil will go to hell, which is very similar view in Hinduism as well.
Fine. But in person, all the kids get together. They recite our religious logs, recites other things, know about God's lifestyle, what happened, some stories, make it interesting so kids can know our religion better. And I want to have my kids involved.
Well, I think that just about wraps up our interview here. Is there anything else that you want to share or that you want me to know about?
Yes, so Brooke, we just talk about the theory about this celebration and what happens. I want you and Dom to attend one of the celebration and see how vibrant, colorful, joyful that is. Our temple does not discriminate anybody, any religion, any faith, any color can come and join us anytime. We also have free food for everybody who can come there. It's a buffet style food. It's provided by our donors who make good money. So money is like temple is always surplus in money. So they serve good food. We call it prasad, means God gift,
Mhm.
not food. So it's free for everybody. So if you can, you and Adam, please come with me. I will be your
Yeah.
yeah, I'll be your host. I'll show you around. Have you meet with the priest? You can ask him question directly too. He would know much better than I do, and I would be happy to do that for you.
That'd be great. And you said, is that usually on Saturdays?
Yeah, like prayers are every day, but I go there on Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah, we can do go in one of the prayers. It's like 15-minute prayers, and we get all the food. Depends on what that day's like. They have different things, different day.
Mhm.
But yeah, and I can answer any questions if I can. The priest will be there, and I can speak in English. I can also translate very needs struggle. But if you need, let me know.
Yeah, absolutely. We would love to do that.
Yeah.
So you'll have to message me sometime when you guys are free, and I'd be happy to go with you and your wife and your kids.
Yes, absolutely. That would be awesome. And look, my son just woke up. So we just finished
Okay.
in really, really good time because now he's gonna be shouting in few minutes. He's gonna all shouting start.
Okay, I'll let you go. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no worries. And is Dom there?
Yeah, he is. He wants to say hi.